Welcome back, class 10, your civics class. In today's class, I will discuss uh, questions from civics. I will discuss these questions. It's a jumbled up mixed questions because I will be discussing these civics questions from a specimen question paper. So we'll be solving civics questions from a specimen question paper. So as you know, question 1 will have 10 questions from civics carrying 1 mark each, where you have to attempt all the questions. So in the short questions, let us discuss what questions were set in this paper. First question was, what is meant by federal structure of government? What is meant by, you can write the questions also if you want. What is meant by the federal structure of government? So the answer is, in a federal structure, there are 2 sets of government. In a federal structure, there are 2 sets of governments working at 2 levels. One at the central level, that is central government, and one at the state level, that is the state government. Who is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha? The speaker is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. Name the 2 houses of the parliament. The 2 houses of the parliament are Lok Sabha, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha. You have to write the, right? Don't write Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. And full you have to write. The 2 houses of the Indian Parliament are number 1, the Lok Sabha, and number 2, the Rajya Sabha. Now, who settles disputes in connection with the election of the Vice President? The Supreme Court settles dispute in connection with the election of the Vice President. Number 5 is, when can an ordinance be issued by the Parliament? An ordinance can be issued, when can an ordinance be issued by the President? So the answer is, an ordinance can be issued by the President when the Parliament is not in session. Next question, short question is, under which situation may the President exercise his discretion in selecting the Prime Minister? When no party wins a clear majority, the President may exercise his discretion in selection of the Prime Minister. G. By whom and on whose advice can the Lok Sabha be dissolved? The Lok Sabha can be dissolved by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. The Lok Sabha can be dissolved by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. H. Question number H. Mention the grounds on which a judge of the Supreme Court can be removed. The judge of the Supreme Court can be removed on proved misbehavior or incapacity. So this is it. Sometimes a question also comes, name the method of removal. What is the process known as? It is impeachment. So if it is not asked, there is no need to write. Next question is, what is the purpose of writ of prohibition? The writ of prohibition is issued to prevent an inferior court from exercising powers with which it is not legally vested, and to direct it to remain within the limits of its jurisdiction. It is a preventive nature. Full thing you have to write. It might be 1 mark, but you have to explain it because it is written what is the purpose of the writ of prohibition. So the writ of prohibition is issued to prevent an inferior court from exercising powers with which it is not legally vested, and to direct it to remain within the limits of the jurisdiction. It's preventive in nature. Then, which jurisdiction will give the High Court an authority to hear cases regarding admillery and contempt of court? So it is original jurisdiction. So these types of short questions can be asked in your exam. Now, in the second part, that is part 2, you have to attempt any two questions from section A civics, 10 marks each. There will be 3 questions will be given. Out of 3 you have to write any 2. So what type of questions can be asked? Now, as the question starts like this: as far as the powers of the Union Parliament are concerned, answer the following. Number A: powers of the Parliament to legislate over Union list, state list and concurrent list, 4 marks. Residuary power, 3 marks. And constitutional powers, 3 marks. So powers of the Parliament to legislate over Union list, state list and concurrent list. So the answer is powers over Union list. The Parliament has exclusive power to make laws on 97 subjects in the Union list, including important subjects like defense, foreign policy, communications, etc. Powers over state list. The Parliament can legislate on subjects included in the state list during the proclamation of emergency. Number 2, during the President's rule in a state, the Parliament not only passes the laws of the state subject, also passes the state budget. Number 3, when the Rajya Sabha passes 2/3 majority that a subject in the state list has assumed national importance, the Union Parliament can legislate on the subject. And when 2 or more states are of the opinion that the Parliament should legislate on a subject given in the state list, and the Parliament may act on the subject, but that would be applicable only to the consenting states. So like this you have to write, and then you have to write regarding the concurrent list. Why you have to write in detail? Because it contains 4 marks. So 4 marks is not an easy thing to get. So these are the things, questions can come like this. So residuary power, you have to write residuary power means that the Parliament can make laws with respect to all those matters which are not mentioned in any 3 lists, namely the Union list, state list and the concurrent list. 3 marks. You'll get 3 marks. Constitutional powers, 3 marks. How you have to write? The bill to amend the Constitution may be moved in either house. It has to be passed in both the houses by a simple majority or by 2/3 majority of the members, as the case may be, as provided under Article 368 of the Constitution. So like this you have to write, because it is 3 marks. Second question, long question, second example is, with regard to the executive power of the Parliament, discuss appointment of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, control of the President and the state government, his military and diplomatic power. So appointment of Prime Minister and the Cabinet, the President appoints the Prime Minister on his advice and he appoints other ministers of the Cabinet. The President appoints the Prime Minister and on his advice he appoints the other ministers of the Cabinet. So it contains 2 marks, so that is enough. So control of the President on state government, this is a little detailed because it is 4 marks, I think. Yes, 4 plus 4 plus 2, yes. The President has the power to issue such directions to the state government as he may think necessary from time to time. During the emergency on account of failure of constitutional machinery in a state, the state administration is directly placed under President and the Union government. The state government in the case is run by the governor. So another question is that his military and diplomatic powers. Military power, that he is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. In his capacity, he appoints the Chief of the Army Staff, Naval Staff and the Air Force. And he has the power to declare war and conclude peace in any foreign country. And under diplomatic power, he sends ambassadors, high commissioners and other diplomatic envoys to foreign countries. All international treaties and agreements are concluded by the President on behalf of India. And all these are the subjects of his final approval. So these things are very easy. I mean, civics is a very technical subject. Once you understand, you will be able to answer. Another type of question, another long question it can come is that our Constitution, so there are 2 lines given and following that the questions are asked. Like for example, our Constitution provides for the establishment of an independent integral judiciary with the Supreme Court as the final tribunal of the country. In this context explain. That means in context of Supreme Court explain. You don't get confused. Read the line properly. It says our Constitution provides for the establishment of an independent integrated judiciary with the Supreme Court as the final tribunal of the country, full stop. In this context, explain. That means in the context of Supreme Court, explain. Number one, the meaning and scope of original jurisdiction. You will write what is original jurisdiction. Then you will explain. First, you will write original jurisdiction means the authority of the Supreme Court to hear a case in the first instance directly, which extends in the following cases. Explain the cases. And scope, that means examples. The Supreme Court has been given the exclusive jurisdiction to determine the constitutional validity under union laws. You have to explain. Number two, the term judicial review. Why is the Supreme Court described as the court of record? So you have to describe what is judicial review. You have to describe why the Supreme Court is a court of why it is known as the court of record. Third question is the independence of judiciary from the control of executive. So this is also very important. How judiciary is independent from the executive. Why it is done. So these types of questions I have discussed it from a sample question paper. So these types of questions are set in your ICSE in the civics. So in the next class we will solve some questions and I will teach you the tricks how to write the civics answers in a correct way so that you can get full marks. So that is all for today. Thank you very much.